Welcome IB Economics students to this video lecture. Today on cross-elasticity of demand, we'll be going over what cross-elasticity of demand is, as well as some of the calculations concerning cross-elasticity of demand. So cross-elasticity of demand is what we abbreviate as XED. Okay, and it is defined as XED measures the responsiveness of quantity demanded for good A given a change in price for good B. So this may be a little bit confusing, but cross-elasticity of demand measures the changes in quantity demanded in one good when the prices of another good changes. Now, we have learned in previous lectures that there are two types of goods that could be related to each other. There are substitute goods, and there are also complement goods. So both of these have different XED values. So substitute goods is when XED value is a positive. However, when XED values are negative, that means then they're complement goods. So we want to go into what does an XED mean? How do we even calculate XED? So once again, we need to use percentage changes. So XED equals percentage change in quantity demanded for good A divided by percentage change in price of good B. So this is how you calculate XED. You use percentage change in quantity of demand for good A divided by percentage change in price of good B. Now, let's not forget how we calculate percent change. So percent change equals the difference divided by the original multiplied by 100. Yeah, so that's how we calculate percentage, and we put the percentage results into the XED value in order to get the XED values. So we have talked about substitute goods and complementary goods. Substitute goods basically means that they're a substitute to each other. Now let me give you an example. McDonald's hamburgers, McDonald's Big Mac, and Burger King's Whoppers. Those are substitute goods. When the price of good A, in this case good A would be McDonald's hamburgers, right? And the price of good A increases, then usually the demand for good B, which in this case would be Burger King Whoppers, would also increase, seeing as how consumers, instead of buying more expensive McDonald's hamburgers, would just go to Burger King for their Whoppers. So therefore, these two products have a substitute relationship. However, what is a complementary good? Let me give you an example. iPhones and iPhone cases, okay? An iPhone case is useless without an iPhone. Therefore, they are complementary goods to each other, because whenever a consumer buys an iPhone case, they usually buy an iPhone as well. So as the price of iPhones increase, for example, then the demand for iPhones decrease, which means that demand for iPhone cases, which is a complementary good, also decreases. So you will want to understand the relationship between substitute goods and complementary goods. So substitute goods is when the XED value is positive. The greater the XED value, the more these two goods are related as substitute goods. So that's what a substitute good is, and in relation to the XED of values. So a substitute good is a good that substitute the other the product A and product B could be substituted with each other with minimum effort and minimum cost. and that's why consumers would choose to go for the cheaper option or the option that's more appealing. Now, complementary goods states that is when the XED value is negative, the smaller, or the smaller the XED value, the more compatible these compatibly related these two goods are. So that's basically the complementary goods. It's when it is negative. Now we have examined, okay, the relationship between the two, but however, let's go into a little bit more depth. Okay, so demand between goods are price elastic. So when it is when XED is greater than 0, then the demand between the two goods is price elastic. When XED is smaller than 0, then demand between goods are inelastic. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Now, well, we are going to be going into the applications of XED in the next video. However, in this video, you just want to be able to calculate price elasticity of demand and be able to identify substitute goods and complementary goods. Now, I hope this video is helpful in explaining how the calculations of XED works, and tune in next time for tomorrow's video about how cross-price elasticity of demand is used